Alrighty, boys. I hope you guys had a good Sunday today. If you are watching this on YouTube, please come over to this subreddit where I make videos. I post them for every main slate, every showdown slate as well. I'll also have NBA videos coming up. NBA starts in less than 48 hours. I am so excited. I can't wait. I hope we crush what we did last year. It's going to be fucking amazing. I can't wait. Two more days. 2 more days until we have NBA. So I'm extremely excited for that. I have posts on here on this subreddit, DFS Sports. My username is shook_dash. I will always answer your questions. As you can see here, I answer questions. I'll always respond to you. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can message me on Reddit. Or if you ever need to get a hold of me, you can message me on Twitter. I will always respond to you guys no matter what. You have a question, whatever. I'll always respond to you guys. Feel free to message me whenever you want. So, if Discord is something you are interested in, I will have a link to that below where I'll have in-depth videos going over each slate for NBA, for NFL. I just want to show you guys something real quick. This was my ROI so far since NFL has started. Most of this is from NBA preseason, though. Have had a ton of success, but yeah, I'll have a link to my Discord down below if that's something you're interested in, where I'll have in-depth videos going over each slate. Cash plays, GPP plays, a cash core, a GPP core, a whole top play section, just so much more. Over 150 people that you can talk sports 24/7. We have really sharp players for multiple sports: MLB, hockey, NBA, NFL, PGA, pretty much absolutely everything you can think of. So I'll leave a link to that below if that is something you're interested in. Let's go over my lineups from today, because that is extremely important for me to show you guys my lineups from the day. This was my GPP lineup, so we went Tom Brady stacks. That obviously did not work out. I don't understand how Tom Brady absolutely sucked against this Pittsburgh D without their top 3 corners. It really just didn't make sense to me. Absolutely sucked. So the core that I had for GPPs today was Tom Brady, Saquon Barkley, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin. Just didn't work out. Didn't work out for us. People still had pretty good days in the Discord, though, with the other stacks that I mentioned. But the main stack, Tom Brady stacks, it just didn't work out. So we missed in GPPs. It happens, but what are you going to do? Cash games. So I won about half my money back. I didn't full cash in cash games this week. So I took a loss on cash games for the week. But my cash game core this week was Josh Allen, Ramondre Stevenson, Tyler Lockett, and Eno Benjamin. The core did great outside of Tyler Lockett. But I swapped off the winning lineup that I would have had. I wanted to get Kamara in. I should have just kept my Kenneth Walker lineup. But I really hope you guys listen to me on Kenneth Walker versus Darrell Henderson. A lot of you guys were asking me questions on who to play between Darrell Henderson and Kenneth Walker Jr. I said Kenneth Walker Jr. and it wasn't even close. Darrell Henderson did nothing. Kenneth Walker Jr. absolutely smashed. So if you were debating that pivot and that helped you, definitely happy to see that. Showdown slate. Showdown slate absolutely saved my day today. So we are 6 out of 6 profitable Sundays. Absolutely crushed the showdown. So this is my lineup for cash. Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Smith, Jake Elliott, Peyton Hendershot. I was considering going Ferguson in GPPs, but all in all, I went Hendershot in both. But yeah, really good day. Once again, have yet to have a losing Sunday, so let's bring that run good for tomorrow. Let's go over this slate too. So, Denver at the Chargers. Russell Wilson at the top at $10,000. I just think, listen, let me tell, why is Denver getting all of these primetime slates? I don't understand it. I just feel like I just have a clown emoji. Like, Stop it. Just stop. Stop with the Denver Broncos primetime games. God. But that being said, Russell Wilson at the top at $10,000. I think it's just too cheap. It's too cheap for a quarterback. Quarterbacks on showdown slates have such a high floor. They have a pretty high ceiling as well. Now, I probably wouldn't play him in captain. I think going to a wide receiver or running back in the captain is definitely a better move because they have a higher ceiling. But in flex, yeah, Russell Wilson I think looks like a very, very good play at the top. Pretty high floor. Has a ceiling as well. I think this is a spot where I think this is a get-right spot for Denver, especially on the ground game, with how bad the Chargers are against the run. So Sutton at 8.4K is just an absolute joke. I don't understand this price. It's just too cheap. He's getting almost 30% of the target market share. He's going to be extremely popular, but for good reason. This price is just an absolute joke. It's a joke. He is way too cheap for his target share right now. He's getting his ADOT is pretty high as well. So Sutton looks phenomenal. I don't understand what DraftKings is doing with that price tag. He's an absolute must for me. It's just way too cheap. Melvin Gordon at 8.2K, I actually think is a pretty solid play as well. Now, we're going to have to monitor if he's going to play, but last week he played about 60% of the snaps. Where is he? 41 of the possible 73 snaps. So, yeah, 65% of the snaps. Now he's going against an abysmal run defense against the Chargers, who are allowing the most fantasy points against opposing running backs in the league. So, I think Melvin Gordon's a pretty solid play as well. Jerry Jeudy is more of the GPP play. He's at such a close price to me in Sutton, where I definitely just prefer Sutton. So Jerry Jeudy more of just a GPP play for me. His floor has been pretty low this year, but the ceiling is definitely there. They do target him downfield as well. So he's just a GPP play for me, but a fine pivot off Sutton chalk. Mike Boone at 4.8K I actually think is a pretty solid value play. He played 30 of the possible 73 snaps, so about 40% of the snaps. He is involved in the passing game. He'll be like down in their like third down situations, and when Melvin Gordon needs to sit. So I'm expecting 10 plus touches for Mike Boone here at 4.8K. I think he's a pretty solid value. Plus you put in the matchup against the Chargers and their abysmal run defense. I think Boone's solid. Brandon McManus, solid play. The kickers, as you guys know, very, very solid plays, especially in lower total games. I don't know what the total is for this game, but I'm probably not expecting it to be too high, but it's not going to be low. So I think McManus is solid. Not going to consider the defenses here. KJ Hamler at 3K is their wide receiver 3. He is playing about 40 to 50% of the snaps, running route on 33 of those. So at this price tag, I think he's viable. I think there is a value on the Chargers side, a value wide receiver that I definitely do prefer more. I prefer the Chargers wide receivers a little bit more on the value side, but yeah, I think Hamler's perfectly fine. Now, the tight end situation for this team is just absolutely disgusting. Alberto got 15 snaps, ran around 14. Eric Saubert played 41 snaps, ran around 25 of those. And is that it? They're running Eric Tomlinson, their blocking tight end, played 35 snaps, ran around on 8 of those. So Alberto is completely out of play for me at 2.4K unless we get news that he's going to be the clear tight end, but they're just focusing him out right now. Got to keep an eye on Eric Saubert news. If Eric Saubert is out, then Alberto is going to become a really good value play. But we don't know that yet. If Eric Saubert plays at $2,000, I like him. He's playing a ton of snaps. He's playing about 60 to 70% of the snaps, and he's running a route on about half of those. So when you go to a cheap tight end, you don't want to go to a tight end that is going to be out there blocking. Saubert's going to be running a route on about half those snaps. If that's the case, $2,000 is too cheap. Got 7 targets last game for 36 yards. Yeah, if he plays it like Saubert, if Saubert doesn't play, then I definitely do like Alberto. I wouldn't go to the other tight end. He is more out there for blocking. What did Beck play? Was Beck out? Andrew Beck played. Wait, they have him listed as a tight end. Interesting. Probably not going to do it though. Let's go over to Chargers now. So Austin Eckler, the most expensive player on the slate, but for good reason. His usage is what we want out of a running back. We want 13 to 15 carries and 5+ targets. I don't care if he's only playing 50 to 60% of the snaps. If he's getting 15 attempts with 5+ targets, that is elite usage for a running back. Not the best spot up against Denver, but I think Eckler is a fine option. He actually played more last week. He played about 65% of the snaps. We know how good of a pass catcher he is, one of the best pass catching down backs in the league. His usage is going to be there, especially with no Keenan Allen. So, yeah, if you have the money for Eckler, by all means play him. I think he looks like a great option in the captain or the flex. Justin Herbert at $11,000 is a couple $100 too cheap. I'm expecting Justin Herbert to throw the ball 40+ times here. We haven't seen that big blow-up game from him, but he has been pretty efficient the past 2 weeks, even with no Keenan Allen. So definitely like both quarterbacks on this slate. Mike Williams at 10.6K is getting an extreme amount of target market share with no Mike Williams. Obviously, this stat isn't going to be adjusted, but he's getting 23% of the target market share. That is obviously more because Keenan Allen hasn't been out the whole season. He's averaged 10. In the past 3 weeks, he's averaged over 25 targets. So, yeah, I'm not expecting that to change here. It's definitely a tough matchup, though, but I'm not too worried about that. I think Mike Williams definitely looks solid. I definitely do prefer Sutton, but I think Mike Williams is solid. I don't understand these running back prices. Just don't play them, please. Don't play them. Absolute terrible prices. I don't understand that. Joshua Palmer at 5.8K will be the wide receiver 2 for this team. He is playing a ton of snaps, 52 of the possible 70 to 71 snaps. Ran around 35 of those. I think he's there for me. Just a fine option. I think Jared Leverett at 5.6K. He'll play more than Palmer, most likely. He played less, actually. 4 to 6 of the possible 71. These two guys are just there for me. If I had to lean on one, it would probably be Palmer, but they're both just there for me. Not going to go to the defenses. As you guys know, the kicker, very solid values. And there's a value play here, and that is DeAndre Carter at, what's his price? 2.6K. He has played 42 of the possible 71 snaps. Ran a route on 24 of those. At 2.6K, I definitely do think he is an interesting value play on this slate. I don't think he's going to project pretty well, but I think he could be low owned. I think everyone's going to go to those Denver tight ends, so I think Carter is definitely an interesting pivot off possibly Saubert or Alberto popularity. I haven't looked at ownership projections yet, so I could be just speaking out of my ass here. Outside of that, guys, I don't think there's much else for me. I guess Trey McKitty, he's been getting a decent run at the flat min, but more of a blocker. But I think it's fine. He played 36 snaps, ran around 13, blocked on 20. Just a dart, I guess. So I think that's it, guys. I hope you had a good Sunday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.